Howdy there, folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and Merry Christmas to all of you! And today we've got some fun things to announce. First off, I don't know if you've noticed it, I probably mentioned it, but the audio was broken in here for a while, such that when I opened up menus or opened up chests, it would cause background audio to cut out and stutter, but I fixed that. Turns out it was my HDMI over Ethernet extender, but I don't really think it's the extender's fault so much as I think it was a Linux interacting with the extender fault, and there was probably a fix for it. But I just found like a used fiber HDMI cable beside the one that I already have that wasn't working, and this one's working. So as you can see, everything seems to be hunky-dory now. The audio is no longer broken. The lighting is new. Yeah, I bought this LED light strip that is going like all the way sort of like around me. I did a real DIY project. I went to the hardware store and I bought some PEX pipe because I couldn't figure out what else to use. And I was like, PEX pipe is kind of flexible. It's sort of like PVC pipe, but not quite. And so I got that and I fixed it, and then I stuck the LED strips to it, and then added a couple of zip ties for retention. And then after putting it all together and turning it on, I realized that the listing for the LEDs had in fact lied. It did not come with a PWM brightness adjuster. So when you like lower the, you see this. I don't know if it's going to be visible on my face, but you know it at different brightnesses. The way that it works, the way it dims it, is by flashing the lights on and off rapidly. And if that gets misaligned with the shutter speed on my camera, you get weird black wavy lines, which is unpleasant. Now you might still see them. I'm going to order. I finally found one that is just literally plug and play, because what I was going to have to do is cut the power line and strip it and like attach it to a PWM controller. They're not expensive, but I found one that just has a barrel jack on either end that I can just plug into. So there's going to be a few videos like this. I apologize if there is weird flickering on my face, but the game audio works now. And you know what? It's a beautiful evening. I had a wonderful conversation with our pig friends over here. I went and I talked to Judge Pork, and mentioned to him that we were doing a little bit of a project over here involving railroads, and asked if I could build a station for him. And he said absolutely not, under no circumstances. I was not allowed to build anything on their property. And I said, that's fair. And this is the conclusion that we arrived at. This was the discussion we had. He said he will build the station from their property and a bridge over to the neutral island that I do own. I'm just kind of leasing it out, although I don't think I'm making any money off of it, so I don't really know how that works in terms of a lease. We'll figure it out, though. It'll all be figured out in the end. It's all going to work out fine, I'm sure. But it looks like he did a pretty decent job here. I like how he kind of they went and they looked at my station, the Pigmen. They had a little look at what I had done. They came back over here and got to work. And what I love most about it is how it did take design influence from me. It's just, instead of, you know, flowers, it's fire. That's great. I loaned them the tracks. They had no idea how to build those. They asked for additional tracks for this side. I don't know if they're planning on building trains that way or where they would go. But this is what they've built. So this is what we now have to connect to. So I also don't know why there's two of them. I didn't ask. Again, I don't know what their plans are. All I know is that this one is the one I need to tie into, and I need to get it to come over here to the Grand Central Station. Or we need to build the Central Station actually in the middle and have them meet up, because I think the original plan that I had was, because it was the easiest thing for me to do at the time. That is going to be, by the way, such a long train track to build. This one took a while, and looking at it, it's so short. It's such a short run comparatively. If we open up our map here, you can see here that we've got this tiny little run. And then, actually, you know what? Looking at it, it looks like this is going to be not really all that different. I think it's just sort of the angle and everything. And looking at it, I think this might end up being about as long. I mean, it's going to be a little bit longer. But should we take this in and, like, bring it over to the side here and have them all meet up in the middle? If we do build a dwarven bridge, maybe across here, and we have this rail come here, and this rail come here, and then the Ender rail, they can teleport. Do they really need a railroad? I think it's so we can get to them. It's to bring everyone together. Yeah, maybe we should build the station here instead of here. Maybe I need to not be lazy and extend that track over to here. Have the stations all meet in the middle with the dwarf bridge, and then have the big, like, council chambers sort of up here, and then the market kind of to either side down here, perhaps, and then maybe some apartments, a casino, like a mini golf course, things to bring in the tourists. I don't know where tourists are coming from, possibly from this village. Oh, is it this right here? Yeah. I think we talked about building a railroad to them as well, but that is so far away. To what end? I did think about building a railroad from Grand Central Station over to Napier's old village, because I kind of feel like they got done a bit of a raw deal, the Brashiat Cub came through and stole all their stuff, and then he went down here and lived his life, and then he finally went up here and rebuilt it, but then he also got pirates there. Not his fault, really, I'm trying to get some of the blame away from him. He didn't send the pirates there, he did kill their captain, though, and that's just where they ended up afterward. And then he went to kill the pirates and destroyed the village. That was intentional, I think. I think he... I don't know if that was intentional. I think that wasn't malice. I think that was pure, sheer incompetence. The next one, though, over here was malice. And the intentions for this one were malice. And heck, I don't know. I think this might have been malice as well. None of that's relevant to what we're doing today, though. None of that has any import or bearing. Oh, goodness gracious me. My favorite thing about this mod pack is when it turns into a slideshow. I think that's fun and cool. What we're going to be doing today is automating some bee things. And you might think, Reese, we're not far enough into bees for you to bother automating it. What are you talking about, you silly old man? Well, first off, let's have a look in here and see how we're doing. Let's rotate that all the way back around, twice, because I accidentally clicked it again. So once this is full, which it's still not quite, we're waiting, we're going to get there. Eventually, we're going to get there. I increasingly like the idea of a room for UU matter, like a UU unit, or something along those lines. Eventually, we'll do that, but once that's done, maybe we'll move down here and start doing these. Is that what we're waiting on? Yeah, okay, because that needs magnets and those plasma cells. Is this full then? Hold on. I don't remember how many I set that to. We're just short on so many things. We're not, and I don't mean in terms of height. We need more UU matter. Oh, you know what? I got some comments about this. I got some comments that apparently, if you apply a redstone signal to the dragon, you can make it talk, which is kind of a funny idea. So let's see what we got here. We'll just stick a button next to it. Oh, yeah. Okay, who said that? Alright, so that was Nick. Long time subscriber. In fact, been subscribed to this channel for over a year. Nick's username is Chaos Controller. I don't know which name to use anymore, because YouTube now shows me, like, the @username, but that's not the channel name. Like, @Chaos Controller is Nick Alvarez's handle, but then his channel name is not that, and I'm not sure, what to do, and I'm sure it doesn't matter, at the end of the day. But, so that was from Nick. Thank you so much for that hot tip. And then channel member Maria Amor came in and said, yes, but also, if you use a redstone block, you can make something very silly happen. So let's give that a shot, okay? We're gonna grab this if we can and not do that, but then also kind of do that, but then kind of also, oh, you son of a gun, you silly son of a gun, get down from there. You absolute unit. If we stick it up there, apparently it just does that non-stop. It's the simple things. It really is the simple things. Just having a dragon inside of your largely empty factory going nom 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 nom. You can put whatever you want to here. You can have him saying anything. It's fantastic. This is. Thank you, Nick, and thank you, Maria Moore, for your suggestion. If we had one for this side too. But we probably shouldn't kill any more dragons. I don't think the Endermen would be pleased about it. And I did tell them that wasn't something I was in the habit of doing, which was a blatant lie based on previous events in different series. But, they don't need to know that. Oh, man. All right. Before we get going with the automation I wanted to do today, let's have one little gander at the bees and see how they're doing, please. What's the situation here? Okay. So the breeding has continued. All the bees are a little messed up right now. They're a little mixed up right now because I was doing some curious breeding to see if we could maybe end up with some unique specimen, maybe get ourselves something different than just a Meadows Princess and a Forest Princess, and so far, that hasn't really netted us anything of use yet. Ooh, this is weird. Okay, so this Meadows Princess produced forest drones. Well, let's take these downstairs and we'll have a little gander. Also, I noticed something. So we never really did quite get the... Are you the centrifuge? You are. Good. Take all of these. We never did quite get the pocket or portable analyzer, which I think we now put inside of here. We never did quite get it working. I don't think we get as much information out of this as you do the pocket analyzer. I feel like the pocket analyzer actually had more information for us. I could be wrong. Also, apparently you can run saplings through here, which I didn't even think about that. Or at least you can with the pocket analyzer. Do we have any unique leaves? I haven't been paying enough attention to know if there's any waiting for us. If so, we could probably grab a peculiar sapling. Or you know what? I already know where we have some peculiar saplings. It's the ones that won't grow over here for some reason. Where are they? These right over here next to this lovely butterfly. They allege to be acacia saplings, but I think that there's something sus going on with these. So maybe we try to run it through. Again, we know that it works with the... Well, it's been alleged to work with the pocket analyzer. We'll see whether or not it works with the big one. Let's run it through there and see what happens. Oh yeah. Okay, it's doing a thing. It's taking its time. It's making its way downtown. It's walking fast. Faces past. It's homebound. But yeah, I think I want to make an analyzer, like a regular analyzer, and give it another go. It definitely felt like it was bugged, but it might not have been bugged. That's the funny part. I might not know what I'm doing. Which is a funny thing to say and a funny concept. Imagine me, a Minecrafter of some decade now, not knowing what I'm doing in a mod pack. I couldn't even picture it. What goes into you again? We need some tin, redstone, a diamond, and some glass panes. And while it pains me to say it, I don't know if we have any of those just lying around. If we did, I'd assume they would be inside of here. Quite possibly right in front of me, although also they could be inside of here. Look at that. So we've got the redstone, the diamond, the tin, and the glass frames, and then we don't actually need to be up here. We need to be down here where the carpenter is. And then also, I think we're going to probably end up building an additional squeezer and carpenter as well, because building one of these requires water, and this is loaded with seed oil. And yeah, I could drain it, but I'm not going to. I'm actually going to build a new carpenter, because I want a new carpenter anyway. Also, that was funny. I didn't finish typing in the analyzer, and I just saw it was... Someone else would have seen that if I didn't comment on it. I know how my chat works. I've got you figured out. Yeah, let's just go build another one of these real quick. Also... We're just progressively wearing less and less clothing with each new installment. Listen, the helmet makes it difficult to get in the water if the depth isn't at a certain level for some asinine reason, okay? And then the pants make it difficult to hover in the air. And don't tell me again that it works. I'm just not doing it right, because I literally, Brashiat Cub, in a video demonstrated it. And yeah, I can confirm. Like this... You know, the whole, like, you're flying, and then you hold down the lower button, but then you hold down space. Yeah, it works fine. I'm doing it right now. You can't see that I'm doing it, but, like, see, I can move up and down just fine, and as soon as you put on the pants, it does not work. Brashiat Cub was crazy. He was crazy in many ways, and he said and did a lot of crazy things. That was not one of the ways in which he was crazy, alright? He was absolutely correct about that. We only have one sturdy casing left, so, gosh darn it, we're gonna have to just make the most of that. And then also, I think it said we would need a couple of pieces of glass. I think I saw glass in here, but not the type of glass I want to use here. I want to use regular, bog standard vanilla glass. All American, made in Sweden vanilla glass. Lovely. Vanilla glass sounds like it would be like a dessert item. Do you know what I mean? I don't know exactly what it would be made of. Maybe it's some sort of clear ice cream. I don't know if that's even possible. I mean, I assume it is with chemicals, but I wouldn't want to eat chemically ice cream. I mean, ice cream already has enough questionable ingredients to begin with, but some sort of completely clear ice cream that has a hint of vanilla. I guess you could just do that by freezing water with some drops of vanilla and some sort of sweetener. Cane sugar, if, you know, you don't mind destroying the cells of your body. Maybe something like a nice stevia extract or a monk fruit. You know, something along those lines. Vanilla, would that be vanilla glass? Or have we just made vanilla ice? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, copy all of that in there. Get me some water. I wasn't paying attention to how much it needed, but if it's more than a bucket, I'll be surprised. It probably is more than a bucket. Now that I've said that, it's actually 2 buckets, which is good, because I only need 1 bucket in my inventory to move honey around. So we'll go ahead and get rid of both of those, grab just 1, and when we dump that in there, perfect. So that should start making the portable analyzer. Any minute now. It has power. Okay. It, inventory needs resources. Did I not... Oh, right. It doesn't... Never mind. No, I see what I've done. I understand my mistake. It's very clear to me now. And I'm confused. It's going. It's going. Meantime, we do have a honey drip and a couple more pulsating propoli, which, remember, lest ye forget, we can use to make one of these, which can be used to make one of these. For some reason. Still don't know why you'd want to. Maybe if you were on some sort of a sky block where you had no other access to ender pearls, but that seems like a bit of a pain. Let's see if we can figure this guy out again. Supply a bee, sapling, butterfly, or other individual, and provide honey or honeydew as a pacifier. So, analytics available. General, environment, produce, evolution. See, I think this is going to give us quite a bit of information. Supply a specimen. So we have a couple of Meadows princesses, including one from a pristine stock. This forest princess here, too. And then a couple more up here that, I don't know, they're all a bit of a mix. Let's go ahead and put this pristine stock meadow princess up here. Alright? And then we're going to add our honeydew drop. And then... Boom. Okay. So, this gadget requires honey drops. Do I need to put in more honey? Okay, so I can move it through all of these stages and learn more information about it. And now it does have the information on it. Genetics, one generation's in captivity. Shorter life, slowest worker, everything is normal. That is the Meadows Forest Hybrid. Oh. It's a hybrid of the two. I don't know what this means. The active versus the inactive. Active is meadows, inactive is forests. I don't know what that means. Maybe we need to read our book again. Fertility rate, 2 and 3. Alright, of course, as you would know. 1 generation in captivity. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we want it to have that. Possible mutations. Okay. So can I actually take it out of there this time? Yeah, and it doesn't look bugged anymore. I don't know what I did differently to keep it from being bugged. Can I leave that honeydew in there? Yeah, we'll just leave those honey drops there. That's fine for now. So we've learned quite a bit about this one. How useful that information will end up being, I don't know. I think maybe we'll have to check the beekeeping section of this thing to understand it better. What's this again? After a while, you will begin to notice that the primitive apiary is not reaping the full potential of your bees. When you reach this point, it is time to upgrade the aviary. The alveary is 3 times the size of the apiary, and I have seen bees produce up to 10 times more honey in an alveary than an apiary. To create this massive contraption, you'll need to construct around 27 of these alveary blocks. Once you have these blocks, you can form them into a cube, thus forming the body of the alveary. Alveary? You'll also need to block off the roof, for which I recommend using wooden planks across the 9 upper blocks. If you construct it correctly, you should see how it all comes together, and the small holes where the bees can dwell. The usage of this alveary is identical to that of the apiary, though I am yet to have any success with inserting wooden frames into it. So you can't do wooden frames in these, I guess. Oh wow. Yeah, you need a lot of beeswax to build one of these. So we're not going to be there for a hot minute. The children of two different bees will have a mixture of the genes of the two parents and may even be a new species that you are yet to discover. I feel like I've read this before. Yeah, forest and meadows might give you a common queen. Although what you're going to do with a common queen, I don't know. But I guess we'll have to do that again. We're going to take a forest princess and a meadows drone and see if we can't get a common queen. So we've got 3 different forest princesses here. One is pristine. Let's go ahead and run it through the ringer here. Okay, so active, I guess, means that's the type it is. Inactive is the genes it shares. Longer lifespan, slower production, slower pollination, but you'll notice it says slower, not slowest. So it's an improvement. And also longer is better than shorter, I guess, unless you're talking about breeding. That's pretty decent, I guess. I don't know. Territories large or average. Okay. Alright, hold on, what is this? 5 generations in captivity, apparently, this pristine forest princess is. I didn't realize that. I guess these are the genes that are active in this bee, and these are the inactive genes that could be buried inside of its genetic code and might come out. Oh, this could possibly produce either of these? Really? Interesting. Okay. So let's say we wanted to take one of those, and I'm actually curious, I'm going to run another one through here. And, yeah, that's kind of what I expected, that it would just be a bog standard sort of a situation. Presumably we want to cross that with one of these meadows drones, and none of these stack with one another. So let's see what we got here. Okay, it's pretty bog standard meadows drone. Nothing really interesting going on with it. What about you, meadows drone? What's your story? There we go. Okay, so this one has, again, inactive is the only issue. But in its inactive genes, it's got all of this. Maybe it would pass that. So the 2 of these each have some interesting stuff going on here. Shorter life, slowest worker. But each of these has something going on. Oh, for some reason this one is nocturnal. Each of these might have a potential. Each of these might have a potential together to make an interesting bee. We'll have to find out here. Let's go back, and I think we'll make a queen right here, right now, right inside of this one. We'll get rid of all those meadows, and we'll put in the pristine forest princess and the curious drone, and let's just see what happens. I still don't know. I'm sure folks have been leaving comments, and believe you me, I'm going to be reading through them as soon as I can. Okay, alright, this one's a little bit hostile for some reason, this pristine stock forest queen. Shorter life, slowest work. Why are you attacking me? What have I done to you? I don't care. We're gonna put some bees in here. Should we just go with the meadows drones? What should we put in there? I actually have no idea. I'm asking genuinely. Should we just, let's see, these guys are shorter life, slowest worker. Does it matter what kind of bees we put in there with it at all? I don't know if that matters. I don't know what they do down there. Well, I'm all out of honey drops, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put one of these are all mixed up here. That one's as good as any other, I guess. I don't know if they need to be there. I think that might just be for breeding. I don't know if you need to add more bees. I don't know if there's an advantage to having more bees down here. Oh, here we go. Active species. Yep, that's what you are, forest queen. Inactive species. Climate, it likes the cold. Tolerance up 1, I guess. I don't know. Fertility is 3. I don't know what the inactive genes means. I'm gonna walk away because it's still stinging me. Do you mention anything about that, like active and inactive genes? What do you have to say on the subject? I know there's a bee gene section. Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna need our Ender Princess back because we accidentally bred Ender Princesses out of existence. So we're gonna bring this bad boy back over here. And, we'll just send it back to work. I don't care. Can I take this out and stop it? Have I stopped the breeding process halfway through? What if I throw just a different type of, bee in there now? What if I just put a forest drone in there? What happens then, eh? We don't have any honey for that thing to work. Okay, we've just got, like, we've just got a bee, and it's mad at me, and it hates me. Here, have some meadows drones. I don't care. I don't care anymore. What have you got? You're going to be that, and you're going to take these. Whatever, who cares? And then I'm just throwing stuff at the wind here. You take... I think it's good to go pristine if we have any more pristine. We don't. Then here, you take that, and take one of these. Go to ham. Have fun. Go to ham. Have fun. Well, we've spent way more time on this than I had wanted to. So we're going to move on swiftly from that. We do have a new portable analyzer, a new forester's manual. We've got a very, very messy inventory full of things that we need to tidy up here. But you know what? Actually, we can throw both of these in here for the time being, and good gravy if we have to find them. What I was going to do now was try to automate a couple of these. So one, for example, is I do want to automate the squeezer. We might need the squeezer for other tasks in the future. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but we might. And then how much seed oil do we get from, like if I just run 5 seeds through here, is that going to be enough to get it up to 10 and then drain this? Because I'd hate to waste 500 millibuckets of seed. So if that works, that would be swell. Is it gonna do anything? Is it on? Is it functioning? I don't know. What does it look like when it does something? Oh, it's got honey in it. Oh, right. Is that even what you do with seeds? Do you squeeze them? Do you have seed oil? That's why this is turned off. So we actually need to get the honey out. Oh, I don't know if I can. Oh. Yeah, no, this is why we need another squeezer, though. So we're going to go ahead and make another squeezer. I actually paused the recording because I expected that to take a long time. I want to say it maybe took a minute. Because all that goes into a sturdy casing is a ring of bronze, which I would have remembered if I had the ability to remember such things. Bit of tin and a bit of glass, and we've got the squeezer now. And then look, the carpenter is full of seed oil, so I don't want to break it. We'll just go ahead and use this carpenter here as part of this automation. But I wanted to automate a system with seed oil so that we could create things that need seed oil, because we're going to need to make a lot of things that use seed oil. So I figured that down here. Also, we're going to go ahead and lower where these cables are placed so that hopefully we don't like see them anymore. I understand that these machines are very unfortunately placed in such a way... Oh, shoot. We're going to have to move this machine anyway. That's deeply troubling and upsetting. But such is life. These machines are built in such a way that if there's any kind of gap between them, you can kind of see down, and I hate that. But we're going to try to work within the constraints that the game has given us, understanding that it's not our fault the way that this is. We didn't ask for it to be this way. We didn't want it to be this way. This is just the way that it is. We are going to go ahead and convert all of this to nice, beautiful marble, like we should have done all along, because it was hideous before. And then we are going to grab out of our lovely bag of things, hopefully more of these. Yeah, there we go. We are running low on them, but they're not too difficult to build. So now we will run them along like so. And actually, now that I think about it, we might end up with like 2 layers, because some machines will be placed right next to each other, which means they'll be kind of stacked on top. That is irrelevant. Also, they're going to be coming out of the ground anyway, now that I think about it. Oh, forget this. We'll just go back to the way it was. It seemed like a great idea in my mind, but now it's just been ruined by reality, as is often the case. We're going to leave the gap there, though, because, well, why not? It seems funny, doesn't it? So what we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to create seeds. And in order to do that, we're going to need to grab an energy collector, a seed sample. We really only need 1 now. And we're going to need an energy condenser. Should we do an MK2? I'm going to say no, only because it's unnecessary. We don't need an MK2. It would be fine. It's just, it's a little bit much for what we're doing. And then we need to figure out the order we want to place these down in, because we're going to want to need the carpenter, and then the carpenter's going to dump into the squeezer using... We'll just go ahead and recycle these, because these are rather effective. They're rather adept at this. Is this the best tool to break them? Oh, well, no, because then that happens. Well, congratulations, everyone. We broke the squeezer anyway. It was going to happen. There was no avoiding it. So power has to go into the bottom, or into the side. And I guess the easiest thing is going to be bottom. So we'll have carpenter here, and then we will have the squeezer. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to lay this out. Well, the squeezer up here. And then hopefully you can empty into the top of this. I didn't think about that. But there we are. There's that. And then we want to go from maybe right on top of here. This is, by the way, not going to be a pretty automation. I don't know if I mentioned that. We're going for extreme practicality here. And in order to get extreme practicality, we're going to want to go with... I mean, would a hopper... You know what? We do have a whole lot of these, and we're not using them anymore. Let's go ahead and grab some of the item translocators, because they just don't get used as much anymore, which is just... Oh, wait, they don't work with the energy collectors, though, do they? Is that what we learned? No, they do work with energy collectors. What was it they don't work with? Black hole units. That's right. So that should be seeds flowing pretty steadily into there, and there's no reason at all to add a glowstone upgrade, unless we're just feeling kind of cheeky and we want to do that. There we go. It's not going to make that huge a difference. Oh, can I not? Hold on, what if I do this? Okay, watch this. Now I can put them in there. Yep, there we go. They just went in as a single stack. What we love to see. So that's going to start condensing into seed oil, which, again, I don't know what a glowstone does. Does it do it like a whole bucket at a time if you do glowstone on one of these? I don't know. On the fluid ones, I couldn't say. But that's going to empty into there, and then hopefully that all works fine. And I don't know how else we could have made that more condensed using what we're using right now, but now we have infinite seed oil being generated, which is just delightful. That's exactly what we want. Unfortunately, nothing like the beeswax or the honey is automatable, which it makes sense. Or, no, I'm sorry, it's not condensable, I should note. So we have the centrifuge, and we do have this other squeezer here. Go ahead and get rid of this hopper. We no longer need it. At least not right here. We might need it later, depending on how this all goes down. But that looks like it's going to be swell. We can make as many now as we want to. Does this thing not go any faster? Is there a way to speed it up? There's an empty socket here. Okay, sure. Let's type in socket and see what we get. Absolutely not a gosh darn thing. Alright, well, let's just check at forestry then. I'm assuming there's, like, upgrades you can get. Sort of speed upgrades. If you spell it correctly, that goes a little bit better. Do you reckon it's these? And electrical engines and electrical stimulators? I mean, what do you reckon this machine is? Is it anything like this? Reduces output by 5 RF per tick and reduces intake by 1 EU. Increases production by 50%. Increases genetic decoy by 50%. Sorry? In stimulators, whatever that means. Actually, these look more like it. This actually is the shape of what we're looking at. Fits 4 electron tubes. Wait, what? Hold on, I'm confused. Basic circuit board fits one electron tube. And then I guess you put the electron tubes into these? Are we out of our depths? Are we very confused? Oh! Look at this, there's a whole chart! Oily and distilled, an oily distilled princess and an oily drone will give you a refined queen. Okay, we've just found like we found the cheat code to this. We found the cheat code to beans. Do you want a lapis queen? You gotta get a resilient and a water. You want a water queen? Too bad. You want a resilient one? Well, let me tell you what you gotta do. You gotta get industrious and you gotta get a robust. You want an industrious, you need a diligent and an unweary. You want to get an unweary, you gotta have a diligent and a cultivated. You want that, you gotta get common princess. We're gonna need to get a common princess. And then we gotta go from there, you know, because you gotta have common and forest in order to get cultivated. I don't know how into bees we're really going to get. I just wanted to make unique trees. That's all I wanted to do. I don't even care about the bees. The bees were a byproduct of wanting to make interesting trees, which is a process that so far has not gone well. The most interesting trees that we have, we just bought from a guy living down there with Napier, and now all the bees are attacking me all the time, and you do get whatever this is. We forgot to check that sapling from earlier. I'd completely forgotten about that. We did like a whole test thing with the sapling inside of here. It's a 2x2 acacia dark oak hybrid. Okay. Knowing that doesn't help me, other than the fact that now I guess I need 4 of them, which is kind of what we were already theorizing anyway, which is why we had these two side by side. We'll have to keep going on that. I did see this leaf here, acacia leaves, my eyeball. What do you reckon this is going to end up being? Let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah, no, that does look like an acacia sapling. Let's see if it's the same situation, though. Let's see what we got. We'll throw it in here, because we've got some honey to spare. We'll see what kind of comes up. We also have this slightly off-colored... What is this? Propolis. What do you do with this one? This one can be used to make an apiarist pipe. Or kind of just that. Oh! Pete! From a Goofy movie. I think we need to make another squeezer. Well, I mean, we have another squeezer. We can just use this one. But the reason I say that is because I would like to... Hold on, can I put that there and then just plop that there? And then we'll move this one. Oh, this one's got seed oil. I don't want it to go to waste. Let's go ahead and empty it out. We'll grab some more wood. And we'll just toss it in there and hopefully it runs till it's done. You know, we can always use some more of these sticks anyway, so that's good. Okay, so we'll let that empty. But then we might want to just go make another carpenter as well, and another squeezer, because this is going to be the 24/7 bee squeezer. So all the honey that we squeeze will go into a carpenter here, and then that'll be sort of like a dedicated one for that task, so we don't have to constantly take one down and pass it around. How are we doing here with this situation? Pretty much this... Oh, this is different. Oh, this is different! Acacia White Willow Hybrid. Okay. 1 by 1. It's small. It's slower. It's slowest. I don't know what SHY means. No idea whatsoever. But let's go try to grow this one and see what we end up with. Didn't we already kind of get one that grew into a white willow? I know we have two sort of white willow situations here. I think those are the ones we bought off that guy, though. That makes it sound so sketchy. Yeah, we bought a mystery sapling off some guy in a back alley. It is just an acacia tree, though. Like, it is just like this one here. It sounded like it would be unique and special, but then at the end of the day, it simply was not. Are you bothered by the fact you can't see the sun? Is that an issue for you? It doesn't mention it. It doesn't say that it cares. Maybe it doesn't count when it's just one of these, whatever these things are. Yeah, I understand the bees are attacking me, but I'm effectively immortal, so it doesn't bother me all that much. I just kind of tank it and go about my life. I don't want to get too invested in the bees. Like, I don't want to be caring about what they're doing. In fact, I would rather not care, although we did get some honeycomb from that one. These guys over here are my favorite bees. They don't do anything. They don't bother anybody. Every so often, they just produce an offspring, and it's funny. And, you know, I mean, let's see what this one produces. Let's see what kind of queen we get out of this nonsense. A forest queen. Ignoble stock. Wonderful. We've ruined it. We've ruined the forest queen. Here you go. You're going to be the honey squeezer. Have fun with that. No, hold on. We've got to do this first. I forgot. The centrifuge has got to be in operation. Right, no, we were in the middle of trying to figure something out over here. I'm getting so distracted. I'm getting so confused. Is this mentioned in the book? Speak of the devil, I did say I would have trouble finding it, didn't I? There it is. Wonderful. Apiarist's book. Is there any mention of machines in this? Genetics! Core? Oh. Circuit boards. Can be fitted with electron tubes by using a soldering iron. Once complete, they can be placed in the sockets on machine GUIs. On machine GUIs. I figured it out. Use a soldering iron to remove them from a socket. Okay, so I guess at that point we want to look at tubes. Electron tubes can be attached to circuit boards using a soldering iron. They have many purposes displayed on the tooltip, which depend on the circuit type selected in the soldering iron. Once soldered, they cannot be removed from the circuit board. So I guess it is a matter of figuring out which types would benefit us. So if we go back to that first page on the list here, do any of these look like we're not running an automated farm here. Electrical stimulators. What does that mean? Automated farms. Manage gourd farm? I don't want a shroom farm. Or orchard. See, I'm looking for something that'll speed up my machines. Rubber plantation. Speed boost 2. Socketed machines. That might be it. That might be it. Increases speed by 25%. Increases power use by 10%. Increases... See, that's probably what we're looking for there. We need to look at machines. We're looking for machines. Is that... Okay, this one goes on machines. Decreases power use by 10%. See, might be good to have one of those. In electrical engines, we're not dealing with engines, no engines, no engines, no engines. So it really does seem like these are the only two worth building here. So this is going to increase power use by 10%, but also increase the speed by 25%. But then this one will decrease power usage by 10%. And if we could put 2 of those on an enhanced circuit board, which there's no reason not to just go directly for enhanced, we have what it takes to build that. Heck, we can make the refined one and put 3 electron tubes on it. What is this one? I mean, well, let's just make that. That makes the most sense in the world. Add that bad boy on there. This is just built inside of a carpenter. And then we could, like, put 2 of these on here. And then, you know, put 2 of these. No, put 2 of these and then 2 of these to offset the power increase by these. So 0 power increase and then presumably 50% increase in speed unless they stack, in which case it's 25 and then 25% of that. But I don't assume it works that way. I assume it's 25 and then another 25 on the base. And then we just need a soldering iron. Is that what that is? That's a pipette. It's definitely not a soldering iron. Okay, look, in my defense, the soldering iron looks like the pipette. Okay, and you cannot tell me otherwise. So, maybe not today, but something to do in the future. Okay, carpenter, got another one of those. Squeezer, got another one of those. And we can go ahead and set these up down here. And also, you've still not grown... Wait! Where did you come from? I thought I got rid of all of these things. I was about to say, oh, you haven't regrown your wool yet, have you? You ought not be here. Don't be banging at me. How are there yet more of them? What is damaging me? What am I taking damage from right now? What is hurting me? Is it the bee? It's the bees above me is what it is, because there's a beehive right above me there. I figured it out. Listen. This is a world of chaos is what it is. This is a world of chaos and disorder. Let's go drop these sheep off. I would not be shocked if someone hasn't taken them in yet. It would be wonderful if we got down here and there's someone just... Nope, no one down here yet. There you go, little friend. Enjoy your life, your new life. If I find another sheep in here, I'm going to assume it's some kind of conspiracy. I've watched this whole series. Look at that. I've watched this whole series. I know what's up, okay? You don't just have a bunch of chickens show up and it's not some sort of an evil thing, right? Actually, now that I think about it, let's go check on the chicken machine, because I wasn't joking. I didn't turn it off. At least not to my knowledge. Let's go make sure it's not out of control down here. No, it's still running. The whole system seems to be working quite well. Liquid meat, we're doing well on. We've got plenty of liquid meat. And then in terms of pink slime, we've got plenty of that. And the machine is running flawlessly, which is what we like to see. Okay, take me back up to... Do we have one for the Space Center? It really needs to be renamed to, like, the Bee Center or something like that. Even though that is a name that makes no sense whatsoever. Maybe the Beehive? No, that's terrible. This isn't connected visually, but it is connected practically, I suppose. I would prefer it be connected visually, though, which is what we want. So there we go. And then we have this. And then I do have another squeezer here. This is more so like a secondary, like a backup. So this is our, like, general purpose carpenter here is what this is. Can we... there we go. Get rid of that. General purpose carpenter here. Get rid of that recipe or something. I don't know. I'm sure it doesn't matter. This is going to be the dedicated to making things like impregnated sticks carpenter. Just leave this running. The squeezer right now is our limiting factor, but I think we know a way to speed that up, so it's going to be fine. This one's going to be dedicated to honey, as previously discussed, so we don't have any honey right now. That's also item transporters, and that's just not going to work. Does this work better? This is also incredibly slow at breaking these. I don't remember if Brashiat ever found a way to make those faster, but gosh, they could really use it. Do we have any liquid ones? We just need the 2. We don't need to get crazy. Put the 2 of those on, and then I still don't think there's a reason to do this, but good golly, Miss Molly, if we're not gonna do it anyway, there we go. That's what we'll be doing honey now. Speak of the devil, I've got a honey drop here for you. We're not gonna do that, though. We're not gonna... That would be silly. We are going to, we're going to hold on to that and use it inside of our pocket analyzer here in the future. But there we go. So we now have infinite seeds being generated, infinite seed oil being generated here. We don't really need this running all that long. We don't need many more of these sticks, honestly, right now. I suppose if we wanted to automate the construction of those sticks, we could just do this again, but then also have maybe right next to it an energy condenser and that, and just making, like, logs and pumping them in here. That would be pretty basic and pretty easy to do. But we are running out of room on this wall, so we might need to consider, if we're going to get really serious about automating certain bee things, what we can do is we can have them be automated in the factory and then just pipe the results over here. For right now, this though is fine. For right now, I can easily see a future where we have 8 squeezers dedicated exclusively to making seed oil being pumped into a carpenter. You know, I can see that future. And then, actually, it's being pumped into several carpenters. Maybe one that's automated, always producing these sticks, and one that's automated, always producing... You know, the sticks are obviously being pumped into an auto crafter to make impregnated frames. I can see it going that way. I can see us ending up in that position at some point in the future. But then again, will we? Because are we going to keep doing the bees? The bees were... all we did bees for was we wanted honey. Do we want honey that badly now? And then now look at us. Where's this gotten us? I'm out here with a gosh darn pocket analyzer. I'm dropping in honey. I'm trying to figure out if what I've done was bad. I think we've ended up with a worse bee than what we had. 6 generations in captivity. Its inactive stats are the same. Its active are like so. I think we actually need to breed this one with something a little bit more interesting. Okay? Let's maybe breed this one again with one of, oh, you son of a gun. With one of these. We're gonna breed it once again with an Ender Drone. Just to see where that gets us. I don't know what's gonna happen as a result of that. We're just kind of figuring things out as we go. Close that menu. I don't need to look at it. Let's see what we end up with here. Okay, it's gonna be like a 6th generation in captivity forest queen. I'm thinking that maybe it matters more the queen, the drone. Right? When you breed it. I think that might be a bigger deal. Maybe I'm imagining that, though, and it's a complete fabrication of my mind. I do not think that there's a reason to put bees down here, though, anymore. Like, I don't think these are doing anything. I don't think that does literally anything, because there's still bees flying around. So I don't know... But there's no bees flying around. Oh, well, that's why. Just do this again. Just see what happens. Maybe I should stop with the bees until I get plenty of good bee feedback. If you've previously left good bee feedback and you're like, geez, Reese, have you not read that? Not yet. You know, time is a funny thing. And even though we're all watching this on the same day it was created in December, maybe I'm in some sort of a time vortex, kind of recording these in advance so they'll be out while possibly, you know, I'm enjoying the festivities with family. We're not at that point yet, but at some point we will be. So, you know... Let's not break the illusions or anything. Till next time, thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Goodbye!